Hi everyone, this is David Stroud. It's Friday. As you notice, I'm wearing my Red Friday shirt where we remember everyone who is deployed, where that includes family members, those who are deployed, or those who've ever deployed in the military, to show respect and honor them. And I'm joined today with Tyler, who is the owner of Pinebreeze Inspections. He's a home inspector who focuses primarily on rural home inspections. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about what that means and how he can help people to get the best out of their home inspection if they're in a rural area. And so Tyler, tell us if you could please a little bit about yourself and what you have to offer, please.
I'm Tyler Shull, Pinebreeze Inspections. Been in the inspection business for a little over 4 years now. Background is I grew up on a Colorado horse and cattle ranch, Weld County, Colorado. With that, leading the inspections, I was the youngest of four siblings. When my brother and sisters would be out, doing the cowboy stuff, taking care of the ranch stuff, I was a lot of times back with Dad, repairing fences, barns, corrals, houses, and I got a little bit more adapted to the construction side of everything than the other stuff. Yeah, I can cowboy up with the rest of them really well, but that's kind of where my passion began. I'll really fast forward. I was in the Navy for 4 years. I'm a Navy veteran, and then also a law enforcement veteran. When I resigned from law enforcement, I was in the log home building industry. And I really became passionate about construction and homes and real estate. Some house flipping with my wife, and then really what led to an inspection company and doing home inspections for people is the very first time I heard of a home inspection. I was like, well, yeah, two heads are better than one. I would love an expert or a professional to actually go through a home and help us to make a good decision on this home from what he sees. And the very first home inspection I had, when I got the inspection report, it was like, where's what I didn't? I was opening up an envelope waiting for the report to come out, because I was like, well, where's everything I didn't know? Just walking down in the middle of the house and looking at a few things. Where's what I didn't know? I'm only being told what I already knew. And when we really started thinking about offering the inspections, that was the thing that really came back to me was, well, let's put inspections together that actually describe what people are wanting and needing. And then just putting it all together with a rural inspection, it's really seeming like more people are needing to move into the rural areas, and what you have in a rural area is a private well, a private septic system. That's your baby. It's not hooked to the city stuff, and it totally operates different. Everything about a private home, a rural home, or a mountain home, it operates different. It looks the same on the outside, and if everything's functioning right, it's gonna feel somewhat mostly the same as your in-town home or your metro area home. But there are differences, and we really like to be able to help people out in those settings with the differences. And as far as what you're going to be paying a home inspector in a rural area is equivalent. But also what we can help with is, instead of having to go hire a well company to come to come explain how everything's working on your well system, we can do that all in one inspection day. And then a septic company, having to find another septic system company to come, hopefully before you and your realtor's deadline, we can help with all that in just a one-stop shop approach on the same inspection day.
I love that. It makes so much sense how it's kind of this all-in-one stop that you mentioned. So especially if you're trying to sell your home or if you're trying to buy a home, then having an inspector who can do all of those things really helps to save you time and money. And we know that both of those are the same thing, especially when you have time constraints. So yeah, that's fantastic. You can do that because it's going to, even just a regular service fee, you're saving that service fee and saving from having to have someone come out. I'm going to be at your house between 9 a.m. and 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. So you don't have to take the day off or have someone sit at the house and wait. So that is a fantastic, fantastic service that you offer. And then by you being an inspector, you don't have someone who's coming out just looking for problems that they can fix. Like we all think about, the shady service guy or company. You don't have to worry about that at all because you're just there to tell them what's going on. And I'm sure you have people that you could refer them to, but that's not what you're there to do. You're not trying to upsell them with additional services, but provide them exactly what they want and need. So that's great. You mentioned, I know we were talking before about kind of a program that you're running, a university to help teach regular inspectors how to become rural savvy, how to teach metro inspectors how to inspect a rural home, because it's totally different, as you mentioned. Could you talk a little bit about that, please, Tyler?
Yeah, it is. It's been kind of a niche and a forte for us. I growing up on a horse and cattle ranch, I did understand well systems and septic systems. It's what I grew up with, and rolling all that into one. I've noted over the 4 years that we've been in the inspection business now, or in the inspection industry, I've noticed inspectors not wanting to come up into the rural areas or not being able to provide what we provide, just knowledge alone or ability alone. We our focus on this academy is, yes, an incredibly thorough home inspection, but with that incredibly thorough home inspection, it's there's some really good inspectors out there, but when they don't have the knowledge of how that well system actually ties into this house, and it is different from your metro city setting, just because if you run water for a long time and then it stops, it doesn't mean the well went dry. There's other things that have happened with the pressure tank, with a pressure switch, with a pump saver, and other inspectors that come up into these regions might not know that it's just working properly, or this needs to change because it's not working properly. There's just not that knowledge there. And you mentioned, like if a well company comes in and just wants to sell a pump, they're going to sell a pump. Or if, let's say, a sand filter clogged or something, all you have to do is unclog it. You don't have to buy something new because the sand filter clogged. That type of thing. And that's what we're trying to help avoid. And then also too, it's a tremendous help to the realtors, to have all the inspections just in one day and not missing closing deadlines, and for the buyer to actually have all these services available to them. They really know what their house is all about before closing, and they can make the best educated decision. And it's way better than not actually knowing and then buying something that is really going to fail in a couple months down the road.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sold. I see definitely the benefit there. And hopefully those that are watching this video can see the benefit of that as well, specifically for these rural areas. If someone's looking to buy a home that is up in the mountains or out in the prairie, or, has horse properties that out in the woods, that would maybe qualify for a USDA loan, or even if not, then yeah, they can always reach out to you, and we'll have your contact information below so that anyone who wants to reach out to you can reach out to you and ask some questions about getting their property inspected, or maybe even talking to you about learning how they could become an inspector for rural properties as well. Tyler, thanks so much for your time. It's been a pleasure. It's been really helpful for everyone who's watched. Please comment below if you guys do have interest or ideas or comments that you'd like to share with us. Comments so that we can know how we can best help you. And yeah, we'll look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.
Thanks, David.